Hey marketing leader, today I would like to share with you how to test user journeys, because I know you're asking yourself, how do you plan a user journey that works for every user that visits your website? Because, well, we all know it leads to conversions. So why don't we take a look at it and provide you with tools and ways to actually analyze those user journeys and tweak them so that they work to your benefit. But as always, before we do that, let's quickly sum up what's going to be in this video. We're going to take a look at analytics, customer feedback, interactions, experiments, and finally, holy grail of it all, user testing. First thing you will want to do is to stop those leaks. And by leaks, I mean drop-offs, low page retention, exit rate, bounce offs, like anything that means you are losing traffic is basically a leak in your user journey. Probably a good point is to start with analytics. Any kind of analytics that you guys have can be, Google or anything open source. There are users, especially in Germany, they can't really use Google much. So you can go for open source. Any kind of analytics that you have access to are better than no analytics at all. So I think you should really start there and take a look at user journey, user behavior overall. There are great views and reports that can provide you further insight into where people start to lose attention, or where they get frustrated, or where there's just something off. All you need is that little signal that will tell you, take a look here, just zoom in and see if there's something wrong. If not, well, great. But if yes, at least we know where to focus our resources and what to fix. Next on the list is customer feedback, and that includes all the CSATs, all the NPSs, like whatever kind of feedback that you can get from the user, it's invaluable. You can use polls, you can use surveys, you can place them in a very clever points of their journey and ask, for example, what prevented you from buying from us today? That could be checkout cart kind of area, or you could put some of those on the homepage, which is frequently visited page, you must admit, and you can ask, what are you hoping to achieve today? And guess what? The answers may dictate what kind of call to actions you put above the fold. So, in other words, take advantage of the fact that your website is live and listen to what people think about it, because that is the mine of knowledge that will help you become a better marketer and reap all those benefits from your website. And guess what? You don't have to build a new one perhaps, and might just save yourself a hell lot of money and time too. Speaking of feedback, if you prefer a bit more reactive approach, you can take a look into recordings, scroll maps, heat maps. If you don't know what they are, effectively what they do, they show you how people consume individual pages and what they are like when browsing your website. So let's maybe break those interactions down. If we use maps, for example, so scroll map, heat map, click map, they're usually these three. They are what they are called, really. The map of clicks, a map of how further down the page people scroll, and it's indicated with colors, hence they call heat maps overall, and so forth, right? So you can take a look and see what people had hoped to click. Is it actually a link? Is it clickable? If not, maybe it's a good idea to turn it into a clickable element on your website. You can maybe see that one of the most important selling points of your business is down the bottom for some reason, and people never reach that part of the page. So how are they supposed to know? Well, guess what? You can bring that section up in hierarchy and have people see it. So you can see how these maps are really useful. But on the other hand, you also have recordings, and I'm a huge fan of it, so you probably have heard me mentioning those in other videos many times, but I really love recordings, and what I mean by that is you actually record. It's a bit creepy, so don't visit our website if you don't like that, but what I'm saying is, if you actually get to record someone's screen as they browse your website, you get ton of feedback if you can read between the lines, really. And those tools, frankly, they provide you many indications of what to fix. So you would see markers on the timeline, like here users seem frustrated, here the users seem to do a U-turn, so means like they reach some kind of dead end, which they didn't expect, and now they're going back. So perhaps it indicates some kind of missing information or misleading call to action. So these recordings are fantastic, and frankly, those tools are really not that expensive. Some of them are completely free. If you're not running a huge website, then you can probably get away with a free account. So take a look. If you just Google website recording tools, you'll find them very easily. Next method of testing user test journey are experiments. And I'm sure you've run them before, and by experiments I mean like split testing, any kind of test really that indicates on one version or the other being better than the other one. I mean, best example is obviously split testing or so-called A/B testing, where you compete two different scenarios, options against each other and see which one yields better results. That is great for user journey testing because you can really fine-tune every single step, be that messaging, be that call to actions, be that images, order of sections. You can really test anything. Just do it. Really, it's fantastic. One thing I would note on that one though, you really need some website traffic. So if you've just launched your website, there are ways to test for micro conversions with split testing, but if you really want to see the benefit of that, you probably need to have some kind of website traffic. And when I say some kind of, I mean probably 1,000 a month, just so you don't have to wait forever for a result, because you need to have certain number of sessions before you can determine a winner, which whether that's A or B, you need to put it to test really. Just small note on that, maybe not that small. If you've just launched a website and you think about having 1,000 website visits, which sounds probably like a dream by that, but right now it's not ideal, but I'm giving you a warning. In this case, I've probably saved you some time because there's no point of you going down that route. And finally, my favorite, of course, is user testing. I mean, you can user test in many ways. It doesn't have to be hand holding. You don't have to pay a fortune to have someone browse your website in front of you, although these so-called moderated user tests are really great. We use them for every single project and we love them so far. They're fantastic. If you are not testing a huge project, maybe you just want to know more about the layout of your navigation, or if your USP is understandable, perhaps something called tree testing is enough, or unmoderated tests. There are also, I think Google does them, they're like surveys. And I know when I say survey, you probably hear some kind of multi-select option questionnaire kind of thing. Not at all. What you can do with those kind of surveys is you can send a screenshot of something out to thousands of people and have them react to it. Just write down the first thought about it. Like if you want to test an icon, if you want to test above the fold and say, what do you think this company do? And thousands of people will just reply to it. Obviously, that costs money. It's actually not that expensive when you compare it to real life user testing. That is incomparable, I would say. So if you're on a smaller budget, maybe that's one way for you. Tree testing is also great. Or you can go back to the options I mentioned before. They really cost effective. Some of them are 100% free, to be honest, and it would be a shame to miss out on those. So get cracking, and I hope the list of these helps you. Really, I really do, because I want to make sure your website works for you. I want to make sure that this website contributes to overall great user experience on the web, and therefore build a better web together for everyone. So it's, you know, it's a cascading effect kind of thing, ripple effect you can call it. That's all. Just get going. Let me know how it goes in the comments, and if there's any other trick that you think I should know about, do let me know. And I will see you in the next video. And thanks. Good luck. Bye bye.